Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, there is a tourist submersible missing at the wreck of the Titanic, basically. I saw this news article before I went to bed last night, and I didn't think too much about it because they're always sending stuff down to the Titanic to photograph stuff and video stuff, and I didn't think much about it. 'Cause I thought, they've got to lose something eventually. I didn't realize there were people on it. I didn't realize it was a tourist submersible because, I mean, people are always complaining that, the media is trying to, blow stories up to get attention and clickbait and stuff like that. But the couple of videos I saw had these really bland titles like submersible goes missing at Titanic wreck sort of thing. So I didn't think too much about it. They didn't say there were people on it. So didn't even watch the videos. I saw the titles, okay. And then I looked at it today and I'm like, oh, there was people on it? There's 5 people. There's a pilot and 4 passengers. I was like, oh my God. So of course I'm looking at this now. The vessel itself is like 21 feet long. It can survive for like 96 hours. Now, the Titanic is at, I think, 13,000 feet down. And I heard some conflicting things about it. Apparently, an hour and 45 minutes into their journey, they lost communication. That was their last, like, ping or whatever. But I'd first heard that it was 700 kilometres away from the wreck of Titanic. I'm like, well, why on earth isn't the boat just sitting above the Titanic and just, dropping the vessel down from the boat? Are they travelling to it? I was a bit confused. But then I heard that they're actually above the Titanic, as they should be, and they're on their way down, or maybe they had gone down. I don't know how long it takes to get down that low, because you have to sort of slowly submerge, I think. So had they gotten down to the Titanic at that point, or are they just on their way? Now, this has happened before, actually, where they lost communications for a few hours. So it's possible they've just lost communications. But normally, in that condition, you would come back to the surface, because obviously you're vulnerable. So you have to come up and sort out that problem. You can't be going on with your mission without communications. And even if you could, if everything was working except for that, obviously you're going to put the whole world in a frenzy because you've disappeared. So it'd be incredibly irresponsible to keep going with the mission if they lost communications. But we're dealing with this is not like a government, or military operation. This is a private, endeavor, and it's experimental craft. It's not, approved by any regulatory body. It is has unorthodox. Basically, they run it from a game controller. So these guys who run this, they're cowboys, and the main guy I think behind it, Hamish Harding or Hardy. I think it's Harding. I can't read my own writing. He is a billionaire, of course, because that's what billionaires do. They just go exploring because they've got money, and they can just do whatever they want, and no one can tell them no. And if they cut, safety guidelines because they don't care, because they think that they're indestructible, they're just going to do whatever they want. So they may have just lost communications and kept going, and they may just pop up in a few hours and go like, "Oops, sorry, didn't mean to scare you all, but we were already halfway down there. We just want to keep going." But they may also have had a catastrophic incident. They may have struck a leak and they may have decompressed and they may all be dead. They may have had a fire on board. They may have just maybe stuck. Maybe they couldn't come back up. Maybe the engines have failed and they're just sitting on the bottom waiting to be rescued. Or maybe they return to the surface and they're just bobbing around somewhere and no one knows where they are. It's really hard to know. Now, the 4 people on board, aside from the pilot, was Paul-Henri Nagalia, who's like a French... He's like a rich person. I don't know what he does. I did see it mentioned, but I forgot. And there's Shazadia Devad, I think his name is. He's I think he was an Indian entrepreneur, and he's there with his 19-year-old son. And there was Henry Harding. So those are the 4 people. A billionaire, a couple of millionaires, and one of their sons, I think. So that's and the pilot. So those are the 4 people. Now, no one knows. Are they dead? Are they stuck at the bottom? Are they floating around up the top? Are they just going on the mission with no communications? Because the other issue was this was the worst winter in 40 years, and they didn't think they were going to be able to go down, but a window opened up in the weather, so they went for it. And maybe they're just like, no, we're not going up because we won't be able to go back down again. So they're just pushing on without communications, or they're dead. Now, like I said, it's been 36 hours, so they've got about 60 hours left of like oxygen if they're just trapped or delayed or stranded or something like that. Now, could they have gotten stuck literally in the wreckage? Could they have been maneuvering around and gotten stuck? It's not like they can just jump out and, unhook themselves. So, I don't know. I mean, I love the Titanic. I've been, paying attention to Titanic and the history and the stories my whole life. I was obsessed with the films before, James Cameron's version, and then, that just took it a whole nother level. And I have a Titanic model up there somewhere, but I need one of the big proper ones. I've been meaning to get one for years. But yeah, it's just it's sad. I mean, but at the same time, if these people are being irresponsible, I mean, you can't mess around with conditions like this. So I don't know. But I hope they're okay, and we'll see, because we'll know if they don't appear in the next 60 hours, we pretty much know they're dead, unless they're floating on the ocean somewhere, which is not impossible, but we'll see as this unfolds. I had to talk about it, because it's like, oh my God. But I'm going to go.